Michael Price from Ausbil, welcome.
Thank you.
Michael, can you expand on the premise of your active dividend income strategy?
Yeah, look, the premise behind the Ausbil active dividend income strategy is that we believe it is possible to get high levels of income, outperform the market, and do that with appropriate levels of risk. And we do that using the Ausbil active dividend strategy and process that we've developed specifically in order to do that.
How does this differ from other strategies focused on delivering higher incomes?
Well, it does come from the process. So it starts with a portfolio which is just trying to outperform the market. It takes advantage of Ausbil's active equity process. That's got a 25-year track record of outperformance. It's style unconstrained, based on the investment philosophy that earnings and earnings revisions are what drive share prices. And that allows us to outperform in all types of markets, rather than just when a particular style is outperforming, which is what happens with a few of the other funds. The second thing is the active dividend approach. Now what that is, it's taking advantage of the fact that not every company pays its dividends on the same date to collect more dividends over the year just by increasing the weight of the stocks that we already hold when they're about to pay their dividends. So that gives high levels of dividends, high levels of income and outperformance of the total market.
What's the universe of investments for this fund?
Well, the benchmark of the fund is the ASX 200, but we can hold any company that is covered by the Ausbil team, and that includes our small cap team and our micro cap team. But to be considered for inclusion in the fund, the first and most important thing is it has to be considered an investment grade security. So by that, it has to be in one of the other Ausbil funds, or it has to have a positive recommendation from the analyst. It's only then that we look at dividends. And what we do with dividends is we just screen out companies that we don't think are going to pay a dividend over the next couple of years, or companies that we think have a high dividend but are likely to disappoint the market when they announce. So it's important to realise we're not using dividends to put companies in the fund, they're there for their total return. We just use dividends as a screen to take out companies that aren't paying a dividend.
What is one of your highest conviction holdings?
Right now, I think that the biggest theme for the next 10 years has got to be decarbonisation, electrification. That requires the growth of renewables. And the thing about renewables is they need storage. And the thing about storage is that at the moment, at least, it's the lithium-ion battery. So the world needs far more lithium than it's currently got access to. And interestingly, an Australian company, IGO, has a 25% share in the best lithium deposit in the world. It's also got exposure to nickel, which is another key component of batteries and electrification. So that's a great company for growing earnings over the next 10 years. And the good thing is you get a dividend along the way. So that's one of the key holdings in the fund.
And what should advisors be wary of when focusing on dividends?
Well, again, they've got to be looking at those three components: income, total return, and risk. So the first thing with income is just making sure you're getting enough income. The beauty of a portfolio, and especially in particular an actively managed portfolio, is it can actually get a higher level of dividend income than just having a dividend tilt. So by way of example, the Ausbil Active Dividend Income Fund, it's been going for 4 years now. And in every financial year, it's been able to distribute over 7%. So that's after fees, including franking credits. But that was including at the worst days of the pandemic, where the dividend yield on the market was the lowest it's possibly has ever been. The second thing is total return. It's important to have a high total return if you want your income and your capital to grow over time. So I don't think advisors should be sacrificing total return for income. It's a growing income stream, which is actually going to maximise income to clients over the longer term. And then the third thing is risk. There's a few strategies out there which are quite concentrated. They can be quite volatile, both in terms of income and in terms of capital, and that's not a good thing. Other strategies don't take enough market risk in order to keep up with the market return over time. So when they're underperforming, they're not able to grow that income. So finding that sweet spot where you've got sufficient risk to keep up with market returns, but not excessive risk and volatility, is the best way for maximising income to clients, and that's what a portfolio is able to achieve.
Michael Price, thanks for talking to us today.
You're welcome.